Do you have a tough time learning two instruments at the same time? Most people have trouble focusing on one or learning one. But for a while there, you were still playing trumpet and then you were playing bass. Did you find it difficult to manage your time to do that?
No, I don't think so. No, it's because I wanted to be good at it. And so that just drove me. And then, but with bass, I mean, I had a passion for it, so I couldn't not play.
Right.
Oh, I would play all day if I could, you know, just literally, just all day, listening to records and picking stuff out and trying to learn it, and I just never stopped.
Right. So it wasn't like, you know, Vail, did you practice, you know, and did you sign the 30-minute thing? You were here's
not
my 5-hour thing. And
not on bass it wasn't, you know, because I had a passion for it.
Yeah, and I think that's important because I think it's really important to find the instrument that speaks to you. Because like you, I played recorder and I played drums on a practice pad for a year.
Right.
And then, you know, my thing was MTV. That came to my neighborhood and I'm like, that looks cool. and that was it. And then that's when my trouble started. But you know,
right.
So I think that's important, right? Because that instrument spoke to you.
Yeah.
And you never had to be motivated.
Right.
You were touched by it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, the time where it takes conscious effort, you know, for me was whenever you're doing something that's not necessarily fun. I mean, it's fun to play and it's fun to experiment and all that stuff, but there are things I wanted to learn, you know, like teach myself how to read music. You know, that was a little tedious, but not bad because I knew how to read. I knew how to read from playing trumpet, and so
got those rhythms.
And so I just transferred, just learned bass clef and where the notes were on the fingerboard, you know, and so I learned how to do that, you know. But that was one of those things that it wasn't. It's not like I was driven to do it. I knew I had to. If I wanted to be good, I knew I had to learn how to read music.
Well, that's interesting too, because that's one of the things I think a lot of people forget too, is that there are fun things to do on the instrument, and then there are things that are, as you say, quite essential, quite important, tedious, perhaps.
Sure.
But I think you saw purpose in your, if we're going to get Zen, you saw purpose in your suffering. Hey, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to work through this. I'd rather be writing or jamming or experimenting, but let me put a little bit of time aside.
Yeah.
Did you have to be mindful of that? Like, ooh, let me do like 20 minutes of reading, or were you organized in that way?
Loosely. I didn't have a regimen necessarily, but
you were playing all the time anyway. So it didn't seem like it was that hard to fit it in there.
Right. Well, I mean, there were tasks that I knew needed to be addressed, you know, because and I don't know, I never thought about it like, oh, I'm definitely going to do this, you know, for a living. I didn't think like that. Yet? No, I hadn't. I didn't think about that at all. It was just, I felt so driven for it that I just knew that. Why? I'm just playing bass.
You're enjoying it.
You know, I'm driven for that, for playing bass.